Oh, she is doing something new. Yes, she is doing something new. Love it, love it, love it. I hope
Indeed.
you caught those lyrics in that intro music there.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody, to Elevated Her, where midlife is not an ending, it is a repositioning. My name is Karon Fairweather, and I'm one of the beautiful, amazing, gorgeous host of this show. We come to you today with so much gratitude for you being a part of our family and letting us be a part of your family. Here at Elevated Her, we have three core messages that either come out of healing, come out of empowerment, or come out of repositioning. You will always hear us talk about one or two or three of those philosophy columns for us. It's just what we are talking about. We have elevated to a higher standing, so too much is given, much is required. And that's what we're here for. I am the founder of Boldly Becoming Her, where we talk about reinvention. We talk about taking what we've already learned and putting it into something that we have always desired. We have raised children. We have raised husbands. We have supported husbands, and I said that intentionally. We have supported them. No disrespect to men, but a real man
Yeah.
knows how much a real woman plays in his life. So I ain't being disrespectful to nobody. Let's be clear. But we've done all the things. We have built businesses. We have built roles. We have built careers. We have done so many things for so many others. It is time at this stage of life for us to put ourselves at the forefront of everything we do. I'll say that again. Putting ourselves at the forefront of everything we do. It is time now. So here at Elevated Her, that's what we're doing. So I'm going to pass this mic over to Miss Marcy. Miss Marcy, it's your turn.
Well, hello, everyone. I am Marcy Trueheart of Marcy Moments. And what I do, I speak luxury words to you. And
Mm.
I just had to get caught up. I said something that didn't align with what I do. And my fellow co host was like, ah. So remember, everything we put out in the atmosphere, the universe hears you. So what you're gonna do moving forward is do nothing but speak luxury words to yourself. Now, you know I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Come on, Clavia.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to take the mic. I am Clavia Allen of Chosen 31 Essentials. As we continue to elevate, I want to remind you, you are chosen for such a time as this, and you're able to storytell with us at Chosen 31 Essentials by way of dance, book publication, and also media, where you can verbally share your story at hashtag Her Chosen Story. To learn more, you can find us at cliviaallen.com. We're working on a few things for the end of quarter three, beginning of quarter four. So stay tuned for more as we continue to elevate. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, ladies, so much for so eloquently introducing yourselves. When I listen to you guys, I always feel like, well, I need to add that to mine. I need to say something about that to mine. And I always just like forget about it. But anyway, thank you again for being here. I could not do this show the way this show is done without you. So you are essential to our success and our individual success. Thank you for adding to this show as you do. Ladies, we are talking about being in a cage today. Yes, yes,
Mm.
we're talking about being in a cage. We women have built, we have supported, we've done all the things. And sometimes we get to a point where our lives become very stable, right? Okay, everything is good, it's quiet. I can breathe. And then we start to operate in that
Mm-hmm.
stable atmosphere, stable life, stable everything. So I'm wondering though, is it that we have everything stable or have we stalled?
Mm.
Have we stalled? Because sometimes when we have built our lives to be stable, to be quiet, to be peaceful, have we stunted our growth? Have we gotten to a point where I don't want nothing to change? I don't want nothing to shift. Everything is good. The children are good. My husband good. I'm good. My life's good. My job's good. I just want it to stay just right where it is. But when we say that, or we're operating our lives like that, I'm protecting my peace by keeping things the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
Are we? Or are we protecting our potential? I'll say that again. Are we protecting our peace or protecting our potential? Because when we get peace, and it's a catchphrase. I'm protecting my peace. I'm all
Mm-hmm.
about my peace. Mm, Sometimes we are, as the show title states, we're in a cage. We have put ourselves in the cage, or we have somehow fallen into this cage, and we think, okay, we're good. There's nothing, no turbulent water happening here in this space. But in order for change to happen, think about what water does to a rock. If that water is flowing over that rock, that turbulent water is flowing over that rock, what happens to that rock? It changes. It changes. It's no longer the form it was at first, but that water has caused it to change into a shape that's oftentimes very different from what it started out. That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean it's worse. Oftentimes it means it's better, because when we pick up that rock, we say, oh my God, look how pretty this is. Well, that happened with change.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're in this cage that we put ourselves in. Sometimes it seems like we're in a safe place, but are we in a limiting place, a limited place, a place that doesn't allow for our growth? There is a season in life. I want to read this verbatim because I thought it was so powerful. There's a season in life when safety feels like wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You avoid unnecessary risk. You become more selective, more careful, more intentional. And many of those choices are that we make, they feel like they're healthy, but sometimes they're the very habits that keep us from growing.
Yeah.
That keep us from growing because we feel like, okay, everything is good, everything is quiet. And not that we shouldn't seek comfort and peace and quiet at times. But when it's quiet everywhere, there's nothing going on that challenges you. Are you in a cage? Have you insulated your walls where nothing can get through and nothing can go out? Have you done that for yourself? I know I had it one time. Safety. I think I said on a different show that safety is very important for me. Because
Mm-hmm.
of my previous experiences in life, safety is hugely important for me. When I walk into a place, I identify. I don't necessarily sit near the door anymore, but I identify where the exits are because I want to know where it is. As for me, that's just me knowing, being aware. I'm not scared, I'm not worried, but being aware, which I believe is different. Safety isn't always available to us, though, when we're in this cage. We think it is because we believe we're safe from everything that could hurt us. But what about what you bring into the cage with you?
Mm-hmm.
What about what you bring into the cage with you? Let's call a thing on this. Are we in a cage? The whole subject today. Not everything that feels that we feel like is helping us to grow. Would you guys agree with that?
Oh yeah.
What
Definitely
you think,
agree.
Marcy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everything we feel like is helping us is allowing us to grow, and I can attest to that with both hands. I won't raise my hands right now. So let's talk about the difference between wise protection and unnecessary limitations. And I had a season in my life where I literally pretty much shut my life down. I just shut it down. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
allowing anybody in, and I was welcoming those that were in to get out.
Mm-hmm.
I just shut my life down because I was at a point of not managing my emotions, not admitting to what I was experiencing. I was literally just went into shutdown. Don't call me, don't text me, don't come to my door, don't email me, don't mail me, don't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like I needed to be in that place where I had just me. And no man is an island dropped in my spirit oftentimes because we're not. But I felt like I needed to be in that place to be safe from the hurt, from the disappointment, from the embarrassment, all the things that were happening in my life at that time. I felt like that was necessary. But wise protection can be an unnecessary limitation. When protection stops protecting you, healthy protection has a purpose, but fear based, and that's where I lived at for a moment, fear based protection becomes permanent if you're not careful. And think about that, fear based protection. I'm taking these measures out of fear, not out of just precaution, being precautionary about what I do. I am literally fearful for this, that, or the third. So because of that, I'm taking these steps. And they become permanent if we're not careful. Remaining in a position, a role, a career, a house, a town, a marriage with an asterisk on that, just because we don't want to experience anything outside of that, it is not allowing us to grow. Avoid, ooh, this one caught me by surprise. I forgot this one was on here. Avoiding dating because of one painful relationship. Now, Miss Marcy, myself, Miss Clavia, even our producer can speak to that about a painful relationship or relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But to avoid dating because of that, I don't know. That to me is like, wait, what? What are you doing? So everybody's going to hurt you? But
Mm-hmm.
how many of us can say that's exactly how we felt in the moment? Like, you know what? I don't want to be bothered. I'm gonna focus on my. And I hear a lot of divorced women say this. I'm just gonna focus on my children and make sure my children get grown and out of the door. Is that because you're protecting you, or you're protecting the children, or you're avoiding something? What are we really doing here?
Yeah.
What are we really doing here? And finally, staying in routines that no longer challenge you. Doing the same thing every day at the same time for a long time. Why? Because it's comfortable. That's why.
It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's easy. It's
Yeah.
easy. So remember this. Temporary protection becomes a cage the moment it stops serving your future. Let me say that again. Temporary protection becomes a cage mentally and physically and even spiritually and emotionally too, put all four of them, the moment it stops serving your future.
So, yeah.
Hey, what are you talking about? Serving my future? Because it's keeping you stuck. You can't see beyond that cage.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. So, what have you, audience, Miss Clivia, Miss Marcy, what have you called being careful that may actually be keeping you small? You don't have to answer that question right now. Just food for thought.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been calling? Well, I'm just being careful, but it's actually you keeping yourself small. So, Miss Clivia, I think many women don't even realize they've been building these cages because they were built on a one time experience. They believe that. So, what can we
Mm-hmm.
offer our audience to get out of that mindset?
Yeah. And I'm going to talk more about the when self protection becomes self limitation.
Hmm.
We often normalize protective behaviors until they become part of our identity. We get lost in the cage. And we think about a cage having four sides. We think about the key being taken away. We think
Hmm.
about the comfort and we call it peace.
Yeah.
I remember when I relocated, my sister said, you ran away from issues, right? You ran away from, and I'm like, no, I was just protecting my peace. I wanted to just start over. A lot of different things were happening at the same time. Looking
Hmm.
back, yeah, maybe I was safe in my Floridian cage because I didn't have to bother with the outside world. This was during COVID. So I think everyone was in some type of cage, right? Where even in Florida, I believe a lot of people cage was open, but
Oh.
they ran back because they felt safe, right? They felt, you know what? I don't, and you would see people still walking around with masks. Some people don't know how to make eye contact anymore because they're
Hmm.
stuck in their cage. and it limits who we are. It becomes, oh, okay, yeah, that's the lady that always wear the mask. She doesn't take that off. And that's who people know you as, versus knowing that you are a bold speaker, knowing that you can, do so many things outside of that, but these things become our identity.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
habits that once help us survive, again, wearing a mask help. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I can reference that time period, right, where we felt wearing a mask helped us survive. It helped us live another day. It helped us protect ourselves from what was happening during that period. The habits that once help us survive can quietly become the habits that prevent us from living. People forgot who they were. They forgot they were, whether it was corporate America, whether they were bosses, entrepreneurs, the
Mm-hmm.
best parent, taking trips. They forgot who they were. Why? Because they were comfortable in that. The habits, and I think it takes either 7 to 21 days to kind of build a habit. And
Yeah.
imagine losing that for a year, losing that for 2 years, and then you just get comfortable and lost. Some talking points, and this is going to hit home again. I think I was in a cage for a while and I had to snap out of it. And I always reference me losing my voice, and that loss of being vocal was my cage, because I felt safe. Like, I don't have to speak. No one can see me. They don't have to hear
Mm-hmm.
me, whether it was singing, whether it was speaking. And I felt comfortable there, right? And I called it peace. But it's really, I was losing myself. And it took, again, being in that certain space where I was encouraged to speak, and I had to get those keys back. We talk Bible, and we understand that Jesus went to Hades to take the keys of hell, death, and the grave. And now I hold that key, right? So I will no longer be locked in a cage. I will walk in my freedom. One of the things that we with that emotional numbness, is it possible that we confuse that with healing, where peace can feel kind of out of control? Peace says I can feel it without being controlled by it. Numbness says I'd rather not feel anything at all. Sometimes we do shut down. We shut down emotionally and we call it peace, right? We then I ask myself, what does healthy peace look like? Does it look like leaving your family and starting a new life? Or does peace mean not being bothered by what's going on around me and I can still live a full life? Right? So peace for some may look a little different. So that's the difference between that emotional numbness. Saying I'm good. I think we do that a lot. Whether
Mm.
it's excuse me, in relationships or just with everyday life. How you doing? I'm good. Meanwhile, you're not good, right? It's when you put a band-aid on something, and sometimes we don't know how to explain it. Sometimes you don't want to be a burden to the next
Yeah.
person, or you
Yeah.
haven't even checked in with yourself to say, am I really good? And then when again you do that mirror work and you look yourself in the mirror, and then the tears start to flow, and it's like, dang, I'm not
Yeah.
good, right? I'm not good, and this is not peace. This is not peace. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we're not honest with ourselves. And I remember someone asking me, who am I? Just those words. And I'm like, dang, who am I? Right? Because I know I had lost myself. And I'm so glad that I was able to find who I am. And we have to really be honest with ourselves with those questions.
Yeah.
As simple as it sounds. How are you? Who are you? Really, you got to search deep and again, be honest.
I
Now,
think we're all so accustomed. I'll say it differently. Some of us have been so accustomed to being on autopilot. When someone asks you, "How are you?" it's just the thing to say, "I'm good. I'm
I'm
fine."
good. Yeah.
Not even thinking that the person truly wants to know, "How are you?" They're not asking a surface greeting question.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
they're sincerely asking you, "How are you?" And then when we don't, and you might want to say, "Well, I don't want to tell everybody my business." This is true.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. You have
Yeah.
to be selective, but at the same time, I think at least being able to answer the question for yourself,
Yeah.
so you can start saying, "Well, I'm all right." "Oh, you all right?" "Yep, I'm all right." "I'm okay."
Mm-hmm.
Something
Mm-hmm.
different other than don't lie to yourself. In other words,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And honestly, that's where the H in her comes in, that healing, because if we're not honest with ourselves, we're not going
yep,
to heal. We will be stuck in that cage
absolutely.
saying, I'm
Hmm.
good. Meanwhile, you're tearing up inside, you're broken inside.
Hmm.
And again,
Hmm.
going back to even what we do at Chosen 31, It's really expressing those feelings as hard as it is, and feeling the feelings and knowing it's okay to not be okay. But to also, like
Yep.
you said, even if you don't want to burden somebody else, give it to the Lord. And that's where prayer comes in, where you're able to
Yep.
release. Some discussion, and I have some notes with this, the difference between a few things. And we'll start with rest versus withdrawal. Rest says, I need to pause so I can return stronger. And again, we had a workshop the other day where we talked about the importance of rest. It's
Mm-hmm.
not the same as withdrawal. Withdrawal says, I'm pulling away because I don't want to feel, deal, or engage. Rest
Yes.
restores you, and withdrawal isolates you. And we know that isolation is not healthy at all. Rest has a return date, withdrawal builds walls. The next one is peace versus avoidance. Peace says, I can face this without losing myself. Avoidance says, if I ignore it long enough, maybe it'll go away. And we know that's not healthy. Peace can sit in difficult conversations and remain steady. Avoidance runs from discomfort and calls it peace. And again, I think that's what my sister saw, that I was avoiding a situation versus confronting it up front. It was very discomfort for me. It was uncomfortable for me,
Mm-hmm.
but I called it peace. Peace confronts with wisdom. Avoidance escapes with excuses. Discernment versus fear. Discernment says, this is not for me, not now, or not in this way. Fear says, what if I fail? What if I get hurt?
Mm-hmm.
And we talked
Yep.
about those relationships. What if it doesn't work? Discernment is guided by wisdom, so we know they work hand in hand. Fear is driven by self protection. And I think that's what a lot of us walk with, that fear of self protection.
Yep.
Discernment may tell you to wait, fear will tell you to move, to not to move at all. So you just become stuck in that cage. Discernment protects our purpose and fear protects our comfort. And that was those were the three main things that I wanted to touch on. And we'll have those in our notes so you can review them again. Call a thing a thing. You don't have to leave the house to
Mm-hmm.
disappear from your own life. Call a thing a thing. Let's say that again. You don't have to leave the house to disappear from your own life. And our reflection question: what have you stopped reaching for because disappointment feels easier than hope?
Ooh.
Is it a career? Is it a relationship? Is it
Mm-hmm.
yourself? What have you stopped reaching for because
Yeah.
disappointment feels easier than hope? Marcy, once those protective patterns automatic, oh, sorry. Once those protective patterns become automatic, they can feel almost impossible to change. What's happening beneath the surface?
So beneath the surface is the nervous system often prefers predictability, discomfort over unfamiliar possibilities. So
Mm-hmm.
I already know. I rather know what's going to happen before I walk into something new.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly, everything you said it's just like
It hit home.
Yeah,
out
it really
out.
is.
Um, yeah. Especially like I said, when this nervous system starts glitching
Mm,
because of our just we don't understand the discernment and the fear.
yeah,
Um,
the
we
difference. Yeah.
question it. Peace
Mm-hmm.
over what was it? Peace over avoidance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that rest over withdrawal. When
Mm-hmm.
this nervous system is so overwhelmed and it can't um, distinguish between those options, that's when that's when you break down and that withdrawal becomes so much more, what's the intense, and it takes you to a place that you shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
Your body remembers what hurt you, but it doesn't always recognize what's now safe. So, and going
Mm-hmm.
back to the avoidance, going back to the withdrawal, going back to the discernment versus the fear. When your
Yeah.
body remembers your hurt, it because we automatically think the worst things first. It's just the way we're designed.
True.
But when something or someone or that safety that we're in, it is a safe nestle for us. But then we like, this can't be real because I never have this much peace. So we get to doubt that. So we need to work on that.
Yeah.
So why uncertain triggers hesitation hesitates? Uncertainty. Why uncertainty triggers hesitations? So uncertainty often triggers hesitation because our minds are wired to seek safety over the unknown. We're gonna go
Hmm.
with the worst before we think of the best. What begins as self protection can quietly become self limitations. If fear keeps us from moving forward, it's important to remember that excitement and anxiety creates many of the same physical sensations. The difference is how we interpret them.
Hmm.
Growth happens when we learn to tolerate healthy discomfort, i.e., because I'm huge on the healing aspect, and trust ourselves enough to take the next step. You got what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Yes, we've all been hurt. We've all made bad decisions. Um, that's going to happen. But when we look at, and now when I look at certain things, I look at it as lesson learned.
Yeah.
What this, and especially, being single out in this dating world, um, each person I come across, if they stay, they stay. If they don't, they don't. What was the lesson that I've learned?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Now, when I make my mistakes, Marcy, let's sit back and let's analyze this
Mm-hmm.
because okay, we're gonna make mistakes, but let me learn from my mistakes. Don't let me withdraw because I made this mistake and now I feel inadequate. Um, don't let me do avoidance because yeah, I did mess up. Yeah, I'm a mess up some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but eventually I'm gonna get the answer to fix it. And how does avoidance become automatic? Ooh. Now Um, it's important to remember that excitement and anxiety create many of the same. Oh, did I say that?
Yeah, you kind of did.
Okay, I did. But so excitement and anxiety. I think excitement. It to me, anxiety is when you can't shake the feeling of being safe. What your excitement is, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And you automatically feel safe in in that excitement. But anxiety, just you just can't. You're not going to be happy about anything. You're not going to be excited.
Mm-hmm.
I know when my anxiety was kicked in, I my hands always was shaking.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm.
always my hand was just, and then it became a norm. And then it did once I came out of my anxiety state. I kind of looked at my hands one day and they wasn't shaking.
Hmm.
I elevated. I was able to elevate myself
Yep.
from that with therapy, with prayer, and I had to understand um, you can't take on all the burdens of failed relationships, no
Mm-hmm.
matter who it is. It's not all your fault. Take some
Right.
blame.
Right.
Of course.
Accountability.
Yeah, take some accountability,
Yep.
but it's not all on you. And that
Mm-hmm.
also that puts us in an anxious um, mindset. Okay, let's do some practice. Practical reset. Before saying no, because I like to say no, am I responding to today's reality or yesterday's experience?
Mm-hmm.
Am I telling you no, I can't, no, I can't go to that conference because the last conference I went to wasn't organized and somebody hurt my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
years later, you evolved and now you need to learn to be around some more people who support you. So
Mm-hmm.
are you responding to today's reality or yesterday's experience? Let's call a thing a thing. Your nervous system is designed to protect you. Okay, it's not designed to choose your future.
Ooh, Miss Marcy, you need to read that one again.
Yes.
your your nervous system is designed to protect you,
Mm-hmm.
not designed to choose your future.
So good.
And Kron, when you were saying when you go into a place, you get your exits. So that's just called situational awareness,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
which we
Mm-hmm.
all need to do. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but understand, always be aware,
Yeah.
but still have some comfortability about where you are. Because when we're always, we never give our nervous system a time to relax.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole nother show of that's a whole nother show. So let's do a grounded prompt. Think about one opportunity you avoided. What story immediately came to your mind? And we all have several stories.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. What was that story current or inherited from an older version of you?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
So that just goes back to your nervous system is designed to protect you. It's not designed to choose your future.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron,
Yep.
how do you know when it's time to unlock the cage you unknowingly built?
Ooh, that is a great, great question. Unknowingly built.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have the awareness that you built it, but you realize you're still in the same place. I'm still in the same place. Why? More than likely because you have put yourself in this nice little safe space, not letting anyone in and telling everybody to get out like I did. Telling everybody to get out because you needed safety. And I'm not going to say that there aren't times when we need a temporary space just to release, relate, and relax. I don't want nobody bothering me just for a little while because I need to just boost off for a while. That's different from
Mm-hmm.
totally engaging yourself in a space, in a place, even if it's in your head where you're not growing. When you realize you're not growing, then yeah, we got something going on. So you now have an opportunity to choose expansion. Okay, I put myself here. Now, what am I going to do to get out of this? Because you've become so comfortable in that cage that now what does expansion look like?
Right.
Does it mean sticking my toe out the door or my whole body? And if I stick my toe out and I don't feel comfortable, I'm gonna snatch it back in. Well, expansion often is not comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's very uncomfortable. It stretches us, it challenges us, it causes us to shed that old us and become new, renewing of our mind, renewing of our bodies so that we can do the thing that we need to be doing. But until we take ownership, and we mentioned that earlier, that's another big thing here with Elevated Her, is that taking ownership. It is only going to happen if we do it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way it's going to happen. We can pray, we can read, we can go, we can do. Until we actually take action, nothing's going to happen. 4 questions to audit yourself when it comes to safety, because again, safety is very important for me, and I imagine it's important to everybody at different degrees. What opportunity keeps returning to me that I keep passing up? Nah, this is not a good time for me right now, but it comes back again. Where have I confused comfort with alignment? This came up before. Is it comfort that you're choosing or alignment that you're choosing? Am I choosing this because I feel safe here? Nothing challenges me. I'm good. I can do this with my eyes closed. If you can say that statement, you are choosing out of comfort. Oh, yeah, I can do that, girl. I can do it with my eyes closed. You're choosing comfort.
Mm-hmm.
What would I attempt if I trusted myself? Now, here's where safety comes in again. You got to trust yourself to feel safe in your own body. Because some of us don't even trust ourselves in our own body. And that's where we really need to go inward and do some really good inner work. Final question. What's one area where I need evidence, not assumptions, in order to take the next step? That's I need to see it before I believe it type of mindset. I
Mm-hmm.
need to see it before I believe it, because I hear you. Yep, Karon, I hear you, girl. You talking some good stuff. You talking my language, but show me the proof. Well, I don't have any proof for your life. I have proof for my life, but I don't have any proof for your life. So if you're asking for the evidence before you trust your ability, then safety is a thing for you. So trusting ourselves, getting ourselves emotionally and mentally to a space and place that we trust our decisions. We were talking about this in the pre-show of how we have what it takes, but we don't trust ourselves for whatever reason. Lack of confidence in a moment, or something happened that kind of took you out. And I'll tell you, for me, it oftentimes more than not is when I try something and it doesn't work the way I think it should work. I allow it to take me out of the game, man. That didn't work. I ain't doing that no more. I'm not going to bother. I'm not spending the money. Nope, 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 nope. Instead, I should be looking, okay, that may not have gone the way I, emphasis, wanted it to go, but what can I learn from this? So that the next time, yes, next time I do this, maybe I need to do it a little different. Let's call a thing a thing. If your life hasn't expanded in, I'm going to even say months. I was about to say years. I'm going to say months, because some part of your life should expand over a few months. I didn't
Yeah.
say change, I said expand.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just ask, what are you waiting for? Ask, what are you protecting? Because oftentimes we're not allowing ourselves to expand, allowing ourselves to grow, allowing ourselves to evolve and elevate, is because we're protecting ourselves, we think, from something.
Yeah.
So if you
I
haven't
wanted.
grown in some kind of way, ask yourself,
Mhm.
somebody want to share something?
Yeah, I wanted to share. I mean, something as simple as just hearing you say life hasn't expanded in months. What are we protecting ourselves from? I think about being in an apartment, right, where I have neighbors, hundreds of neighbors that's so close. Then you think about the responsibility of having a house where you're no longer attached to a neighbor. You may have a few neighbors, then you don't even, you feel kind of unsafe. Where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm protected in this complex space where, again, there's more people. I can knock the neighbor. Now I have to enter new territory, new neighborhood,
Hmm.
new
Hmm.
rules, new laws. So I think a lot of the times we protect ourselves from so many different things, whether it's applying for the promotion, saying
Yeah.
yes to the cause. And again, it's protecting ourselves from maybe fumbling in words or thinking our resume is not strong enough. We have so many limitations on ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time
I
to push
agree.
forward. Yeah.
I agree with that. It is sometimes we're hard on ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
unnecessarily hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
We have the expectations we place on ourselves. Oftentimes, we won't place on someone else
Mm-hmm.
because we're looking for ourselves to be perfect. It's got to
Yeah.
be just. Nope, nope, nope. I can't put that out there. Nope, nope, nope. I can't organize this. Nope, nope, nope. I can't go here because we have an expectation of how it needs to look. And you know what? That expectation is us protecting ourselves from the unknown. So I'm going
Yeah.
to keep setting the bar higher and higher and higher before I do anything because I don't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I got that done. Oh, and now I need to do this. I got that done. Oh, now I need to do this. I got that done. Now you see how I'm saying we just keep pushing that
Yeah.
bar up. I was in a relationship one time with somebody, and I don't know how I dealt with this, but I did. Had that this person had an expectation of things to be done a particular way. Me being a recovering pleaser, okay, no problem, done. Well, now I need you to do. Okay, no problem, done. I follow instructions very well, too well sometimes. Then I start to notice every time I met the expectation changed.
Mm.
I'm like, well, when is it going to be enough?
Right. Yeah.
When is it going to be enough? And I realized it was never going to be enough because this person weren't comfortable with themselves. So that's done. That
Mm-hmm.
was done. But then I turned the lens on myself. I keep pushing the bar higher because I'm scared. I don't really want to do this because I don't know enough. I feel like I don't know enough, or I've never
Mm-hmm.
done it before. I don't know these people. The workshop I went to before, not recently, with Clavia, I had this moment. I was sitting out in the parking lot, and I'm like, man, I don't know anybody here but Clavia. That's it. These are Clavia's people. These not my people. I said, these people not gonna listen to me. I literally had these thoughts to go through my head. I lied to you
Yeah.
not, because this is about elevating. So I want to, as Clavia gave an example earlier, and Marcy gave an example. I want to give an example because this is true life. I sat in that vehicle and I'm like, I don't know, this don't feel good. I said, this really does not feel good because I'm so accustomed to being in a space where I know people and basically the control freak in me is trying to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
I know them. I know where everything is. Da 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 da. But I'm in a new place. I'm in a city I've never been in before. Or haven't been in a long time, and I'm with people I barely know. I might have met two or three of them months ago, but I don't know these people. I had to quickly catch myself, snatch myself back off the ledge, and say, "You are here for a purpose."
Mm-hmm.
For such a time as this, you would not have been allowed to come here with all your schedule being as it is. You are here and accounted for. What are you doing? Get out this truck and go do what you came here to do. And I promptly got these here, I like to call these habit hips, out of the truck to go do what I was there to do. And it went
Yeah.
wonderfully well. I may not have known them at first, but by the time it was over or halfway into it, women were coming up to me to tell me their story.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there to do a purpose, but I had to release all that fear of me calling myself protecting myself by staying in the vehicle. Oh, I can always call Clavia and tell I'm not feeling well. I said she'll understand. Line my behind her. These are the thoughts that came to me, all out of fear of the unknown. Why would I do that to myself? But I was about to, until I
Mm-hmm.
caught myself and got my happy hips up out of that vehicle and went on inside to do what needed to be done. So when we are faced with uncomfortable situations, stop raising the bar so much to it paralyzes you where you can't do anything. You can't
Yeah.
go anywhere because you're so stuck in, oh, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. Now I'm not telling you to not put your best out there, but once you have put your best, stop finding a new best to put
Mm-hmm.
onto it, because
Yeah.
you're going to keep going and never get to a point of being able to do what you've been placed here to do. If your life hasn't, I'm going to say this one again because I think it's worth it. If you haven't expanded in a few months in some area of your life, what are you protecting yourself from?
Yeah.
What are you protecting yourself from? Because I was trying to protect myself from being from the unknown. I know me. I know me very well. And I'm not gonna lie to me. Now I might not take action right away, but but, but I'm gonna take it. Don't get twisted. I will take the action because I'm realizing the longer I take the action, the longer it's gonna take me to take the action.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So why am I delaying the inevitable? Because if this is for me to do, it's going to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well do it while I'm, okay, let me just yield not
Yeah.
to temptation and do what I'm supposed to be doing. And the
Mm-hmm.
temptation is to give in to the fear. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that. So this week, identify, listeners, ourselves. Identify one habit that once protected you. Now ask yourself, does it still deserve a place in the life I am now building?
Mm-hmm.
A habit that you put together for yourself to protect you. Now, for the life that I'm building, does it still fit? If the answer is no, take action
Mm-hmm.
and stop living that way and change it, because habits can be changed. Clivia
Mm-hmm.
mentioned 7 to 21 days. If you're really serious, if
Mm-hmm.
you're really serious, 7 to 21 days to change that habit, incorporate a new habit to empower yourself. Because here at Elevated Her, healing, empowerment, and repositioning, that's what we're all about. The
Mm-hmm.
goal is not to abandon your wisdom. Never ever feel like we're trying to say that. We're offering a different way of thinking about things.
Yeah.
The goal is to recognize when yesterday's wisdom
That's become.
and
Mm-hmm.
experiences have become today's limitations.
Yeah.
Some doors protect us, others trap us. The work is learning what the difference is and making proper choices in that direction.
Yes.
You don't outgrow fear by waiting. You don't. You outgrow fear by building evidence that you can, say that again, that you can trust yourself, but you can't get the evidence without taking action.
Yeah.
So today, we have some affirmations we want to share with you and a scripture, and then we're going to say, have a good day. Oh, and some other things too, but go ahead with these affirmations, y'all. I get caught up and forget what we got to do. All right. Affirmation. Is it coming up? Yes, it is.
Yes.
God, Creator God, has not given me a spirit of fear, but of courage and of wisdom. I give myself permission to move with that wisdom, not panic. With discernment, not fear. With courage, not recklessness.
Amen.
I choose courage over comfort. I trust myself through uncertainty, embrace healthy growth, and know every step forward strengthens me.
Amen.
Amen.
I choose connection over isolation, healing over numbness, and peace that comes from wholeness rather than avoidance. I'm no longer confined by what once kept me safe. I'm free to
Amen.
fully live, love, and become who God created me to be. Amen.
Amen.
In our scripture, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm, then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. Get out the cage, y'all. Get out the cage. Galatians 5, verse 1. Amen.
Speaking of that cage, if something in this conversation today made you realize or even wonder, ponder, am I in a cage? Share this episode with another woman. Because if you recognize, even if it's just an area of your life that's in a cage, somebody else will recognize the same thing. We want to grow this community. Make sure you scan the barcode or share this episode with someone and subscribe. Join us for next week's conversation, y'all, because we're going to keep talking about this healing, elevation, healing, empowering, and repositioning. Thank you all for
Yes.
being here, elevators. Until next time, peace and blessings. Bye-bye.
For the woman becoming, elevate H.E.R. Elevate H.E.R.